A band doesn't make a dime until an album breaks even, and only one ever does. Even if a band like Love and Reverse does have a hit album, there's the question of whether they stay on top. Meredith Vieira picks up our story with a cautionary tale about what can happen to a singer even when his album does go platinum.
It was late 1976. He was on the road for 11 months straight, playing the songs night after night. His album, Frampton Comes Alive, was still near the top of the charts, and his manager hoped to capitalize on that. He suggested Frampton quickly record another record. That turned out to be a huge mistake.
Comes Alive was so huge, that basically all people wanted to hear, you know. They didn't hear anything new at that point.
I'm In You would sell a fraction of the live album's 15 million copies. To this day, trying to quickly repeat multi-platinum sales rarely, if ever, works.
Can't help it if I'm lucky.
Hootie and the Blowfish's debut album sold over 16 million copies. It was still selling well when the band released a second record. So far, that has sold only about 2.5 million copies. Ironically, it's radio that's often responsible for the poor performance of follow-up albums.
That's the story with Hootie and the Blowfish. And now they're back with their second album.
When radio discovers that listeners like a song by a new band, they play it over and over and over.
New from Hootie and the Blowfish.
That breeds familiarity. It can also trap an artist.
And then tell me whether you're not tired, getting tired, or tired of the song.
As radio discovers all the time through extensive research.
I don't really like this one.
What sometimes happens is people get tired of the song, or they fall so in love with it, that's the only song by the performer they want to hear.
It's okay, but I'm tired of it.
So a follow-up album released too quickly can actually alienate fans.
I don't like the song, and I'm getting tired of hearing it.
Getting tired or tired?
Hi, this is Peter Frampton, and you're listening to Laurie D on WHEB.
If a station finds out the audience is bored with the song is dumped.
Life is a ringer. I'm going through it. Pressure building up.
After Frampton Comes Alive, Peter Frampton kept releasing new albums. But people didn't want to hear them, and radio stations didn't want to play them. In 1982, an executive at his record label A&M suggested Frampton make a change.
He said, I think what you need to do is you need to write songs that don't sound like Peter Frampton and do an album that doesn't sound like Peter Frampton. Now, when I picked up the guitar, I'm going, I can't do that. You know, that was the worst thing. That then that gave me writer's block, because at this point I'm a little insecure about the fact that things haven't gone so well. I really need a hit now. And I'm thinking, you know, that couldn't be, the guy couldn't have said anything worse at that point. Then the album came out, and then it was goodbye from a 13-year home at A&M.
Frampton, who had made millions for the label, was dropped. But he would continue to play, continue to tour, and today at 46, continue to chase the rock and roll dream.
Maybe I will always be remembered just for Frampton Comes Alive. What's the big deal about that?
In the summer of 1996, the members of Love and Reverse were just beginning their professional careers, awaiting the release of their debut album.
I want to sell records. I want to have a hit record, you know, to go to every record store and see if it's there, just to get that feeling of walking in and actually seeing your record amongst all these people that you grew up loving all your life.
July 30th, 1996.
Wow, I didn't even see it yet. Yeah. That's what it looks like in the plastic.
Love and Reverse's debut CD, called I Was Here, is released.
It's a dream come true for me. We're finally getting a shot. We're finally getting our up at bat. And I really think we're strong. And we're going to blow it right over the fence.
It is the major label debut for these guys.
That night, the band appears at a hometown New Jersey record store before an audience of loyal friends and family.
So please put your hands together. Please welcome Reprise recording artists, Love in Reverse.
Here, the members of the band are treated like celebrities. Here, they're already rock stars.
I really believe that there were a number of songs that had the potential to be hits on the record. You know, we knew going in there that there's that chance that people wouldn't get it right away, but there was also the chance that it could all of a sudden boom.
But it would take several more months before anyone could judge the album's success. For Love in Reverse, that meant day after day on the road promoting the album, touring the hard way. No limousines, no adoring fans. Just another opening act with no track record that no one had come to hear.
Sometimes you feel like a salesman. A lot of times what happens is people don't warm up to you until the middle of a set. By the time they really get into it and realize, wow, this band's actually pretty cool, you're done.
Love in Reverse's summer would end on a sour note.
This is Blueprint for a Possible Song, FM 1063.
Love in Reverse would be played on only 37 stations in America, just 1/10 of the rock outlets. As Reprise executives had worried,
the song sounds different from anything else out there.
The band's new and different sound was the kiss of death on radio, and MTV declined to play the video. So without the needed exposure, the album bombed. So far, it has sold just over 1,000 copies. For a debut album, that's typical. There are few smash successes like Alanis Morissette's. What isn't typical is what's happened to Love in Reverse since.
1, 2. Can I get some music in here, maybe?
They've been given the chance to record a second album, thanks to their biggest fan, Howie Klein, the president of Reprise Records.
This is a process of developing an artist over a long period of time, and we feel that we're gonna keep trying to make progress, not necessarily have a big score.
I hope I keep getting another shot. But I know I'll always be doing music either way. I mean, if I'm not on a label or if I am on a label, I'll be doing it and going, knocking on everybody else's door.
Mike Ferrantino now understands the reality of rock and roll, outside of the basement.
Not everybody gets a chance to have an overnight success. A record doesn't come out and all of a sudden you hear it all over the radio and you got a big hit. I want a chance to be heard. Let people decide whether they like it or not. If they hate it, they hate it. If they love it, then I'll be there to put 150,000% into it.
When we come back, a startling update on our story about the Broadway revival of Annie.